Hello everyone, I'm Metis Balaska and welcome to the stream. We had a bit of a thing going last stream, didn't we? And we started Yukiko's story on Persona 4 Arena. We're going to continue it now. The unconquerable slow black. The unconquerable snow black. Hello, game. 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 Oh, come on. Make sure Steam is running. Seriously? What do you mean unable to sync? Steam is currently in offline mode. Are you serious? Jeez. No, I don't want to see your ads right now, Steam. Um, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I really should reorganize my games, because, jeez. And what just happened? Did the game just crash as it was loading up? Bye bye.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax!
And why isn't the game showing? Ah, there we go. So when we left off, we made it to the TV world with Yukiko and had her, and we beat up Chie. We are going to resume from that. Let me get my mouse out of the way. I won. I really fought and defeated Oh, it's not Chie we beat, and it's Yosuke, my bad. I really fought and defeated Yosuke-kun. Teddy's cheerful and joyous voice reaches my ears as I stand stunned in silence.
Now that was one relentless battle! This is what makes the Grand Prix so spectacular!
Where are these voices coming from? I searched the surrounding area to find the source of the cheering. All around us are students in their uniforms. No, that's not right. These things are human-shaped, but they're definitely not humans. We're surrounded by them, and they're all cheering. That reminds me, I think these things were there when I was fighting Yosuke-kun as well. Is this some kind of special effect that Teddy is using? Or considering that this is the TV world, are they shadows? They're just watching and cheering, but they don't really seem hostile.
Nothing is staged or worked, folks! Yuki-chan, make sure you let your fists do the talking in the next fight, too!
Bye bye. The strangely dressed Teddy makes his weird announcement, and the monitor turns off. Hisei-chan announces a 10-minute break over the PA system. I tried talking to her, but she won't answer, no matter what I say. Everyone's acting so oddly. Yosuke-kun stirs and gets up.
Oh, Yosuke-kun. I'm sorry I didn't go easy on you.
Nah, I really am worthless scum. I'm sorry you have to put up with me.
Huh?
Yukiko, I understand what you wanted to say, but I need a moment. I don't think my heart can take any more right now.
Yosuke-kun is still saying things that don't make any sense. It's like we're having two entirely different conversations. Hold on a sec. I forgot to turn the light. It's above my PC on. All right, thanks. Pardon me? And he's acting different than he was before. Yosuke-kun slaps both his cheeks and then turns towards me.
Alright. I think my heart will be okay. Yukiko-san? Are you hurt or anything?
Huh? No, I'm fine. But Yosuke-kun, are you sure your heart's okay? You look pretty shaken up.
That ain't... I mean, that's not true. Huh?
He's still acting a bit odd, but I feel like I'm actually having a conversation with Yosuke-kun this time. I suggest that we talk about what's going on, and he agrees. What exactly happened a moment ago? After some talk, we both agreed it was strange that the world inside the TV changed from the beautiful scenery we last remembered to Yasogami High. Then we discussed the changes in Teddy and Risei-chan. Additionally, Chie and Yukon entered the TV with us, but neither of us had seen them. What is going on in the TV world?
Damn it, I wish we had something to go on.
I did notice that there were some shadowy people around us while we were fighting.
They don't seem hostile, but it's still eerie. The silhouettes weren't in the TV world last time we entered it.
They looked like students or shadows. Though they were too well behaved to be the kind of shadows we're used to. Well, if they're not going to attack us, we can leave them alone for now.
Oh, another thing. Teddy said that if I don't fight, I won't be able to reach my most cherished thing.
Most cherished? Like something that's really important to you? Oh, maybe he meant me!
Good lord,
I
Yosuke.
doubt that.
Who knew a gentle denial could hit so hard?
But seriously, what was Teddy talking about? I didn't bring anything important to me into this world. Oh no.
Could it be?
The box lunch, it's gone. Tragedy! I know I had it in my hand when I came in here, but now it's gone. I look around frantically, but there's no trace of it.
Oh no! Did I drop it somewhere?
When? Where? Did I drop it when we entered the TV?
I'm sorry, Yosuke-kun. I need to go look for it.
Huh? Look for what? Hey, Yukiko, you can't go alone. It's too dangerous.
I feel bad ignoring Yosuke-kun, but I can't tell him what I'm looking for. I made all that food to surprise everyone with, after all. If they're not surprised, it won't mean as much, and they'll enjoy it less.
Wait up! Ah.
Ow! Those things are back. Yosuke-kun is about to catch up with me as I'm exiting the gym, but then suddenly he stops. He just stops moving.
What are you doing? Is that a mime act?
No, there's some invisible wall here. What the hell? You got through, but I can't.
As Yosuke-kun makes herky-jerky, what the hell does that mean? Weird poses, a monitor behind him comes on. What appeared was, it's Teddy in that silly-looking hat again.
Did I forget to tell you? Only the winner can move on to the next fight. No one's getting out of this school until a champion's been crowned. Only the one who fights to the very end and comes out on top can leave.
Good lord.
What's up with that? What am I supposed to do then? I can't get out of here.
Well, we got all these chairs that are a mess.
That's right. Sorry, but you're stuck there, Yosuke. Now, Yuki-chan, if you want to get your cherished thing back, you know what to do.
Teddy directs a knowing smirk right at me. Did Teddy take my box lunch? If he did, that's absolutely unforgivable. To others, it may just be an ordinary boxed lunch. But I was proud of that food. I wanted to show everyone how much I've grown since last year and have them enjoy the fruits of all my hard work. I put my heart and emotion into making that boxed lunch. If all that work was taken away from me as a joke, there's no way I can just let that slide.
I'm sorry, Yosuke-kun. I have to go.
Wait, you're seriously ditching me? Yukiko! Yukiko! Is this for real? What am I supposed to do if I have to take a leak?
Good lord. After exiting the gym and running around for a while, I noticed that while this place might look like Kyasugami High, the building layout is completely different. Occasionally, I bump into invisible walls like the one Yosuke ran into, and I can't continue the path I was taking. It doesn't look like we'll be joining up with Yukon and Chie here. I can't believe I lost my boxed lunch at a place like this. Where in the world could it be?
Did anyone lose something?
Huh?
Hello, Not Labyrinth. That voice wasn't Teddy or anyone else I recognized, and it wasn't one of those silhouettes either. It was distinct and echoed down the halls. It's a girl's voice. When I turn to look, I see a girl wearing a Yasugami High uniform looking around. I don't recognize her, but I recognize the bundle she has in her hand.
Excuse me, that's mine.
You dropped this. You're a careless one, ain't ya? You ought to be more careful.
Huh? Oh, thank you.
She's got a serious tone to her voice and a very distinct intonation in her words. I don't remember anyone like this at our high school. I'm curious as to who she is, but there are more important things to attend to. The girl before me doesn't seem like she's going anywhere, so I chat with her after I check on my lunch box. It is a bit rude, but it should be understandable in the situation. I hurriedly begin to open the bundle.
No.
Oh dear. I could tell from opening the lacquerware box's lid. It's totally ruined. I should have known though. When I woke up inside the TV, I was splayed out on the floor after all. The box lunch obviously wouldn't have survived unless someone in the TV world happened to catch it and then set it aside.
You can still eat it. Maybe.
I tried to reassure myself. The flavors have gotten mixed up a bit, but it's all the same in your stomach, right? It's still good. It's still good. It's still good. Uh-oh. I can still give it to everyone. No, I can't. Even though, no, it's still edible, there's no way I can make this look anywhere near presentable.
Yikes. That was a box lunch?
Yeah, it's all jumbled up now, so I can't give this to anyone.
Give it? Oh, were you gonna share it with your friends?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Wow, that sounds great. You made it so you could enjoy it with everyone, huh? I'd love to do something like that myself. You gotta enjoy your youth while you can, right?
Is this girl trying to cheer me up? Even though we're in such an odd situation, it lifts my spirits. Just to know that someone else here understands the emotional process that goes into making a box lunch like this. Oh, of course, even if she didn't have any interest in box lunches, I'm just glad I found someone who could, and that I could actually talk to in this place.
By the way, what are you... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Yukiko Amagi. So, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm the student council president. It would be weird if I wasn't at school.
Student council president? Huh, I think I remember our elections being held back in April this year. I didn't quite remember who got elected. So she's the one. Wait, what? Something's not right. I mean, this is...
No, that's not what I meant. Are you, a persona user?
What? What are you talking about?
She can't use a persona, but she is here in the TV world. In other words, that means... This president doesn't notice my confusion and continues right on.
There's that wackadoo event going on right now, ain't there? They can't pull stunts like that on campus. That's why I'm looking under every rock for him, so I can shut the whole shebang down.
Excuse me. Wackadoo? Does that mean it's not good? And you're looking all around the school so you can put a stop to this tournament?
Well, that's what I said, ain't it? I can't believe they didn't run this by the student council first. Not that we ever would have approved a cockamamie event like this.
Yeah, how would that have gone? We have a tournament where we try to get people to kill each other.
Anyway, I gotta go stop this tournament. You too, you know? You're that, what was it? Snow Black?
Huh? Wait a moment. I'm not participating in it by choice.
That's a complete misunderstanding. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Miss President seemed quite surprised by my words.
Is that true? Well, you do look like a serious student. I can't believe they're even roping normal students into this. You should get yourself home and leave the rest to me.
Huh? Oh, wait!
After attempting to reassure me, Miss President turns around and begins bounding off like a deer. I chase after her, but not only is she really fast, my path gets blocked by that invisible wall again when I turn a corner. I have no choice but to abandon my chase. This wall won't budge at all, no matter how hard I push it. What in the world is it? It feels like someone has already decided where I'm supposed to go. Still, who could that girl be? She didn't know about personas, and she seems to think that this place is just plain old Yasogami High. Could she be a victim that was dropped into a TV? When I think about that, I feel disgusted at myself for worrying more about my boxed lunch than her safety. Stupid me. Wait, if she's a victim, then why didn't she appear on the Midnight Channel? Usually the program comes on after a victim enters a TV. None of this thinking is going to help me get any real answers. I need to push forward and focus on understanding what's happening here. Next time I run across Miss President, I need to make sure I get things clarified. If she really is a victim, then I need to rescue her from this world. I proceed on, although the invisible walls are constantly slowing my progress. Eventually I reach the entryway. It seems familiar, yet it's also completely unfamiliar to me. Seeing a replica of a place that I know so well in a form that is so different is really creepy.
Are you looking for something, Yuki-chan? Oh, I bet you miss me so much that you're looking high and low for me.
Aye. Teddy appears on the monitor, hanging from the ceiling, still wearing his strange outfit. I don't think it's funny anymore. I'm pretty angry.
Teddy, you better stop this right now or else.
Aw, are you in a bad mood? I was looking forward to you trying to score with me. But no matter how mad you get, the battles won't stop. Your fate is to fight and fight and fight to the bitter end, Yuki-chan. So you'd better make up your mind. Now bring out the next challenger.
Thick smoke pours out the same way as it did when I met Yosuke-kun. I see a faint shadow beyond the smoke. Wait, is that a green warm-up jacket? Don't tell me.
Yoo-hoo, Yukiko! What are you so upset for? Chie, thank goodness you're okay. I was worried with all the strange things going on in here.
I'm so glad that Chie is safe. If the anger and tension I was feeling moments ago drains away. There's much I want to discuss with her. Teddy and Rise-chan's off behavior, my boxed lunch. No, that can be left for later.
Yosuke-kun in the gym, so all that's left is to find Yukon and head for where Teddy is.
Right now we need to think about joining up with everyone. Just when I'm about to say how reassuring it is to have Chie with me.
I don't want to do that.
Huh? Chie?
How come I have to help? Just so you know, I'm having a blast with this P1 Grand Prix. You're always like that, Yukiko. You just assume you'll get your way.
I couldn't believe my own ears. The Chie before me is the real Chie. But it's the same as with Yosuke-kun. She's belligerent and saying offensive things. But she's nothing like a shadow. Chie, my best friend, is saying horrible things to
Have
me.
you ever thought about the problem you cause for others? You may not realize, but you completely rely on us. That box lunch you brought today is a perfect example. Nobody ever said they wanted you to make them one.
No, I didn't mean it to be like that.
Is that really how things... is that how... is that really how things are? I'm about to dispute what she's saying, but I'm at a loss for words. I mean, I guess I do force myself on others. I do rely on others. So I can't completely deny Chie's words. Even though I think it's not true, maybe that's how I want to see things. Maybe that's how I want to see things. What Chie is saying may actually be how everyone else views me.
Woohoo! The cattiness is through the roof here. Let's get today's episode of Girls Gone Feral started.
Good lord.
There you go again, the same old I didn't mean crap from you. You think that excuses you from relying on other people? Yukiko, I'm serious about this. Let's settle this once and for all. Here goes Persona!
Chie takes a fighting stance after hearing Rise-chan's voice blaring from the speakers. I don't want to fight, but Chie has even summoned her persona. This whole situation just doesn't make any sense. But I can't just swallow myself to get beaten up and senseless either. Banana dominatrix. Hey, Yumu. Yeah, that was kind of her Shadow's MO in the original game, wasn't it?
Final. Fight!
Ow!
How unfortunate. Better luck next time.
If I had a nickel every time I slapped the bee into the feet, I would have 2 nickels. It's not very much, but it's weird it happened twice. And glorious.
Whatever you might have said, you were going for the throat in that fight, weren't you, Yuki-chan? Seeing people turn on each other so fast is scary. Watching you made my fur stand on end.
Jeez.
Oh, you were totally enjoying it.
Was it that obvious? Thanks for the ugly battle, Yuki-chan. Keep it up for the next fight, too.
This may be what people call burning with rage. What's so entertaining about Chie and me fighting each other? I can't believe that Teddy would do something so amazingly cruel like this. As I'm starting to tear up, Chie regains consciousness. My heart stops for a moment, but then Chie runs towards the monitor and starts yelling at Teddy. What in the world is going on? Now she's acting totally different than she was just seconds ago.
Hey, Ted, I heard you, you know. How dare you say that? If you don't quit this nasty joke soon, you're gonna pay the next time I see you.
Blah, blah, blah! I can't hear it when sore losers talk!
Very mature, Teddy.
You've already lost, so be quiet and stay there like a good dog!
What? You're really pissing me off, Ted!
Teddy completely ignores Chie, who's about to jump at the monitor and kill the broadcast before she can get in a satisfactory comeback. I have no idea what to think right now. The Chie right now is 100% the Chie that is my best friend. But she is the same Chie who was here before the fight. She's not a shadow, and I don't think she got replaced when I was looking, when I wasn't looking either.
Chie?
Oh, sorry, Yukiko. I think I went at you a little too hard. Wait, huh? Are you back to normal? Oh, thank goodness. I'm so sorry. It must have hurt so much.
Huh? Back to normal?
Oh, that stupid Teddy. There's no way Yukiko would say those things.
What? There's no way I would say such things? I don't remember saying anything to Chie back there that wouldn't get anyone this upset. Our conversations don't feel like they're matching up again. Something's not right.
I'm sorry too.
Huh? Oh, no, you don't have to apologize. It's Ted's fault for setting up the tournament, not yours. Actually, what is this Grand Prix thing? Teddy and Risa-chan are both acting so weird. Never mind why they do it, I don't even know how. There's no way those two could pull it off themselves.
It's almost like they're not them. She is right. The situation is too complicated to be a practical joke that Teddy and Risa-chan are playing on us. The only time a new place would be created inside the TV world is when a person gets dropped into it, right? After thinking for a moment, I decided to tell Chie about the girl I met earlier. Pardon? Everything from how she found my box lunch and how she hasn't realized that this world is inside a TV, and how she had not appeared on the Midnight Channel.
Really? Huh. I guess we'd better keep an eye out for her. A ponytail and a Yasugami High uniform. Okay, I can remember that. Hey, Yukiko. Is that your boxed lunch you're holding? We had a pretty intense fight back there. Is it still okay?
Probably not.
About that.
Oh man, what a tragedy.
When I show her the ruins of the boxed lunch, Chie's shoulders sag. Yes, it is truly a tragedy. My creation has been reduced to a pitiful pile of mush.
You're not getting away with this, Ted. You'll learn firsthand how vicious I can be over wasted meat.
Why, yes, I do consider these two a potentially bisexual couple. Why do you ask?
There's actually not much meat in it.
There isn't? Anyway, let's hurry up and find him, so we can get revenge for your boxed lunch.
And nothing else. The moment Chie yells out defiantly, the sound of a familiar footsteps reaches my ears. Chie notices too, and we both turn in that direction.
Come on, let's hurry! Let's go!
There's something different about this particular Teddy. I can't put my finger on it.
Whoa, Teddy, quit pulling!
A familiar form with vibrant red blue hair. That's
Teddy? And that's...
the girl that Teddy's tugging along is definitely the one who found my boxed lunch. The two of them don't respond to my voice, and they rush off toward the practice building.
What are they doing together? Don't tell me Teddy really is behind this tournament.
Yukiko, you gotta hurry after them! Wasn't the girl with Teddy the one you were telling me about?
Yeah, let's go, Chie.
I thought she would respond with an energetic yeah, but that wasn't the case.
Can't though, that's why you gotta hurry!
Huh?
For a moment, I think she may have suddenly reverted back to the Chie that I fought.
It's that stupid Grand Prix rule! I lost, so I'm stuck here!
That's right, I totally forgot about that. Teddy said that the rules of this tournament only allow for the winner to go on. But Yosuke brings up a good point. What if you need the bathroom? Like, he was stuck in the gym, so I'm sure there's a bathroom there. But not the case with Chie. She's in the middle of the hall. In other words, even if I did find my friend, and we wouldn't be able to travel on together. So not only is Yosuke stuck, my voice broke again, but now I have to leave Chie behind too.
But I'll be okay. Hurry or you'll lose them.
That's the Chie I know, with her typical smile. That little bit of comfortable familiarity gives me strength, and I give her a determined nod as I prepare to head out.
All right, I'll come back for you, though.
I know. I believe in you. Go get him, Yukiko.
Bolstered by Chie's words, I depart. I hope there aren't any invisible walls on the way to the practice building.
Like I keep saying, you have to believe me. Why won't you understand?
When I enter the practice building, the first thing I hear is Teddy's voice, but I don't see him. I follow the sound, and it seems like it's coming from the music room.
Huh? And suddenly Yuki-chan's here!
You're Yukiko-san.
Teddy gasps in surprise while Miss President looks at me in wonder. I finally caught up to them. It seems that since they're not talking through a TV, we can finally have an actual conversation.
It's time you explained yourself, Teddy. Why are you doing this? And who is that girl? Did you call her into the TV? I'm very upset with you right now.
What are you talking about? The murder in your eyes is terrifying!
Oh my god, the puns.
Why? Why is every cutie pie I meet angry with me? What did I do? Is it because I'm Miss President's Knight?
I'm at my wit's end. Murder in my eyes? Duh, doesn't he know what he's done to me? Yukiko-kun and Chie said such horrible things to me, and my box lunch has been ruined. My feelings have been seriously hurt. Trying to play this off as him being her knight might be some kind of joke to Teddy, but if he's going to keep this up, I won't forgive him.
Hey, wait a sec. Even I think you seem kinda on edge here. There's no call to get so worked up.
I'm sorry, but this is between Teddy and me. I'm sure you understand, Teddy.
Oh dear.
I'll say it one more time. If you upset me anymore, you're going to pay.
I slowly edged towards Teddy while asserting my threat. Yukiko-kun and Chie were both returned to their normal selves after I fought them. So maybe Teddy will return to normal if I fight him too. I can also avenge my boxed lunch.
Oh, I get it. You're jealous. You've turned green with envy because I'm all lovey-dovey with Miss President.
Good lord. Something snapped inside me.
Konohana Sakuya.
Oh dear.
Yuki-chan's
Yukiko.
seriousness gauge just exploded.
Mad
It's
Yukiko!
your fault.
I'm Miss President's Knight. I can't lose. Gintoki Doji!
Teddy summoned his Persona 2. No, then that means I guess there's no choice but to fight. It's not like I was going to let him off the hook anyway. Teddy needs to be punished.
Huh? A direct challenge against the General himself? We're joining this shocking turn of events already in progress. Now, who will win? The General or Snow Black? Let the argument be decided with fists.
Or fans, as it were. I had forgotten that and about Rise-chan until her joking voice was amplified over the loudspeakers. But right now, punishing Teddy is top priority. I'll revenge my my boxed lunch? Grammar, Yukiko. That should be avenge. Actually, I should have been saving here.
Finally.
What'll come out?
Ow. 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 I gotta do it a third time. Ow. I'm sorry I had to do it a third time. It was too funny not to. Whew, I feel a little better now, I think. Teddy should go back to normal, just like Yoshiko-kun and Chie. I turn towards my poor lunch and I think, I've avenged you. Then again, a boxed lunch's long and cherished desire is to be eaten, right? It won't be fully avenged until it fulfills its purpose, oh dear. What's inside is completely mixed up, but it looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad, and all the flavors are probably mixed together. It smelled good when we were at the food court, but right now it's smelling a little, no, quite different. But maybe, just maybe, the taste is...
If it's still edible.
Depends on your definition of edible. Okay, give me a sec. I think this might be a choice for the joke ending. Darn it! I really should have saved in a different slot. Well, I'll fix it, but... Now's not the time for that. I've been allowing myself to get caught up only thinking about myself and worrying about my food this whole time. I need to focus on more important things. Things like saving Miss President. Okay, so forever... like I said to you guys earlier, there were 4 characters in P4A that had joke endings. And Yukiko was one of them, and that was, and if I picked the first one, it would have gone to the joke ending. And I want to save the joke endings for when we're done, kind of like a little extra fun in the end. When we're done with this story, I mean.
Are you okay, Miss President? Are you hurt? Teddy didn't try anything funny, did he? Yukiko-san, you...
The president's voice trails off as she stares at me.
What is it? Oh, I used my persona in front of her.
I was so furious at Teddy that I didn't even think before summoning my persona. From an outsider's perspective, that fight must have seemed like I was like I was actually participating in that tournament thing. How can I explain
I
this?
get that you were angry, but you just had a huge fight right in front of me. And after I told you to go home, what are you doing still at school? I'm the student council president, you know? You gotta leave this stuff to me.
That's not what I expected to be scolded for. Does she really not find our personas odd? Maybe she's confused because she's entered this world? But I can't save Miss President without having her trust. I can't have her dislike me or becoming suspicious of me. There's no way she'd believe me if I tried to tell her that she's inside a world within a TV. I need to find a way to gain her trust first. I continue to choose my words carefully and make sure that I don't anger Miss President.
I'm sorry. I was just worried about you. Also, Teddy here seems to be the host of this tournament.
Oh, you thought that too? Yeah, I was fooled at first. But after talking to him, I don't think that's true anymore.
What does she mean by that? Teddy's not the host of the
I'm
tournament.
sorry. Can you explain?
Miss President nods and begins telling me why she is being with Teddy. At first, she thought that Teddy was the host and asked him to stop the tournament. However, according to him, the Teddy on the TV is an imposter called the General. As she tells me this, I glance over and realize that Teddy isn't wearing that funny cape or hat. Considering that it's only a hat and cape, it wouldn't take much time to change out of that costume, but this isn't good. Now I'm the one who doesn't know what I'm supposed to believe. When she sees my confusion, Miss President wakes up the unconscious Teddy and says, "It'll be quicker if you just ask him yourself."
Hey, wake up. Get a grip on yourself. Ain't you supposed to be my knight?
Whoa! A cutie pie's trying to score with me?
Good lord.
Okie dokie! I'm puckered up and ready for your wake-up kiss!
No comment. My sentiments exactly, Yukiko.
Teddy, do you need me to punish you again?
Yikes! I was just joking. I'll be good.
All right, then tell me what's going on. She said that the Teddy hosting the tournament wasn't the real one. But in that case, what have you been doing all this time?
Yuki-chan, you believe me?
Of course. We're friends, aren't we? Though that does depend on what you tell me.
You don't give an inch!
This is why I love Yukiko. I really do want to believe him, but considering how many things seem odd inside the TV world, I can't be making any assumptions. After hearing my demands, Teddy pulls himself together and tells me everything that's happened up till now. He explained that he had noticed something abnormal in this world and came to investigate. And way before we figured out anything was going on. And that fake Teddy was already here when he arrived. How he met Miss President and falsely accused. How he met Miss President and was falsely accused of being the culprit. And how he's been fighting all this time to protect her since she can't use a persona. It doesn't seem like he's lying. I believe Teddy. Thinking back to what Chie said, no matter how much he might enjoy pranks, there's no way he could have done something this complicated, and he would never enjoy making all of us friends fight. The same goes for Rise-chan too. And if General Teddy is fake, then that Rise-chan is doing those broadcasts may be fake too. I feel bad for ever doubting my investigation team friends.
Okay, I understand now. I'm sorry I doubted you, Teddy.
See? Did you hear that, Miss President? Yuki-chan believes me.
So she does. Alright, what the hell. I'll believe you too. Truth to tell, you're so immature that I can't see you putting this together.
Ouch.
Whoa! Such high praise! I can tell you really trust me, Miss President.
Was that Prince?
It wasn't a compliment, numbskull.
Good for you, Teddy. You've been protecting Miss President all this time, right? Well, I think you did a great job.
Oh my! Praise from Yuki-chan too? I'm on a roll! This is great! So great! Keep it coming, please!
Like, I know he's a womanizer, but I gotta wonder if Teddy is at least a little polyam. Jeez, he always gets so carried away. But I have to say, I'm definitely happier to see this Teddy than the one in that weird
But then
costume.
who's in the announcement room? He looks exactly like you. Some relative of yours?
Huh? There's nobody as adorable as me in this world.
The announcement room? Alright, this is supposed to be Yasugami High. If he's using the PA system, if he's using the PA system in TVs, then he may be in the announcement room. But Miss President's question is important too. What in the world is that fake Teddy, General Teddy? The first thing that crosses my mind about it would be Teddy's shadow. But Teddy was able to use his persona a moment ago, so that can't be it. So that means someone's disguised as Teddy. Who in the world would do such a... I was thinking in circles until now, but maybe I found the answer.
Hey, this is just a thought, but if someone has made themselves look exactly like you, Teddy, couldn't it actually be Miss President's shadow?
Huh?
My shadow? What's that?
I'm not sure how to explain it, but...
I hadn't told her anything yet. I did want to frighten her. But I think she can probably trust me now. I need to explain the situation in full. Teddy and I both give Miss President our understanding of what's been going on. We tell her that she's been dropped inside a TV and is currently in another world. How the shadow, aside of one's heart that they don't want to admit, can come out of someone and materialize in this world. And finally, how there are cases when the real person is attacked by their shadow. I explain it all as simply and plainly as I could put it, but Miss President does that confused head tilt thing again.
Yukiko-san, are you doing all right? Like, in general? You can open up to me if you want.
Oh, no,
I guess even though she trusts me, bring up such an unbelievable story bring up such an unbelievable story makes it sound like I'm delusional. After all, when I was dropped into the TV world for the first time, I didn't understand or believe what was going on either. But I can't give up. When I explain things once more to try and get her to believe me, Miss President reluctantly nods.
Come on, a world inside a TV, shadows. Sounds like a big old fairy tale to me.
So do you think we were using special effects to fight?
Anyway, you've gotten dragged into a pretty bad mess, so I want to help you get out of it.
Yukiko exposed. Her persona abilities are actually just advanced pyrotechnics. And hologram technology. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, that reminds me. I don't even know her name. How thoughtless of me.
Sorry, may I ask your name? I only know that you're the student council president.
Huh? Say, you never told me either. Please tell us your name, Miss President.
Huh? My name?
Miss President stammers and looks away. I wonder what's wrong. I didn't ask her anything odd, did I?
Are you all right? I'm sure you must be confused with all that's been happening.
That's not it. What gives? I can't remember anything.
She's a lot calmer about this than she was in Yu's route.
I'm supposed to be student council president, too.
Miss President, please calm down. It's okay. You know what they say. Less talk, more action.
Teddy and I try to calm Miss President down. It seems she doesn't remember anything other than being student council president. Apparently, she was so caught up in the situation, she didn't even realize that she had forgotten about everything
I
else.
don't get it. Could something this bizarre really happen?
Don't worry. I bet you just can't remember now because of the shock of being dropped inside a TV.
I mean, that is sort of a thing that can happen. Like shock can make you think that can make you forget the most basic things.
The same thing happened to me last year.
I couldn't believe that it was reality either. I think that her jumbled up memories are only natural because of how abnormal the situation is.
TV, huh? It's just so hard to swallow.
I'm sure you'll remember everything once we get back to the real world. Let's go look for that fake Teddy for now, okay?
Sorry about that. You know what she said, and it's hard to swallow. When I smile at her, Miss President seems a bit more relieved and her expression softens. We have to get out of this world. And to do that, I need to stay strong, too.
A blossoming friendship between two cuties. This is great. I'm so touched. In honor of the occasion, I request that Miss President try to score with me.
Good Lord, Teddy.
Score?
Teddy, if you continue mentioning that, I'm going to get angry again.
Oh no! Is the scoring princess becoming truly enraged?
Oh, good Lord.
That joke's a year old now. How many times are you gonna keep making it? Sheesh, we're going on ahead.
Whoa, hey! Yukiko-san!
I take Miss President's hand and begin walking briskly. Sheesh, she still brings up that stupid joke, even if it happened to be a long time ago. That was what my shadow said, not me. Oh wait, my shadow is how I truly feel. In any case, that's not what I'm really like. I would never try to be a scoring princess.
Wait for me! Yuki-chan! Miss President! I don't want to be left alone!
Ow. I forgot. This tournament's rule dictates that only the winner can move on. So much has happened that I forgot that I just beat Teddy in a fight. He'll be fine. So cold. Are you sure your element's fire? Plus, knowing Teddy, he won't stop hitting on it, or bringing up that scoring princess stuff. I don't want Miss President getting the wrong impression of me, so I ignore him and head for the announcing room. Okay, we'll save in second slot to maintain this. We've searched everywhere for the announcement room where that fake Teddy should be, but we still can't find it. I'm starting to get tired. I suggest to Ms. President that we should take a break and try opening one of the nearby classroom doors. The monitor near the ceiling isn't on. There's no one here either. Thank goodness, we should be able to rest for a bit here. I set the box lunch on a desk and sit down with Miss President. Whew, now that I've finally taken a seat, I suddenly realize just how exhausted I am. Come to think of it, ever since I got into the TV world this time, it's been non-stop running, walking around, and fighting.
Still carrying that, huh?
Carrying that? What is she talking about?
Oh, you mean the lunchbox?
Yeah. If you weren't gonna need it right away, you could have just left it with him back there.
Leaving the lunch with Teddy instead of carrying it around? Now that I think about it, I feel like I should have probably done that. But still, I'm hesitant to just leave it behind. Miss President's right, it's in that we won't be needing it right away. And even besides that, the food inside is in no condition to give to anyone. But it's still filled with so many feelings. I don't think I'd be able to explain all that to Miss President, so I tried to change the subject and deflect attention away.
Say, Teddy seems to have taken a real liking to you, Miss President. I think I understand why. You're really pretty after all.
I guess my attempt to change the subject was a little too obvious. Yeah. But I couldn't think of any other topic of conversation besides Teddy that both of us could definitely relate to. If she were in my shoes, I bet she'd be able to expand the conversation in a much more natural way. As I sink into my own negative thoughts, Miss President cocks her head and speaks up.
Hey, can I ask you something? Am I good looking?
Let's just say you have a rather large fan base. I happen to be one of them. I wasn't expecting a response like that. I'm not the exact expression on my face that Miss President did a moment ago. She seems embarrassed that I'm giving her that look. I guess I should answer her question, though.
Yes, I think so. I bet you'd look great if you dressed up.
Wow, way to go there, me. Even I think that sounded weird. I do honestly think that Miss President is cute and good-looking. Just like I said, bisexual. Maybe she's never thought about such things. She doesn't seem to be wearing makeup, and I don't see any accessories either. Just her uniform and nothing else. Like a living example of school regulations.
Really? I'm not much of an expert since I usually just wear what I need for work. But most people at school give their own little alterations to their uniforms and things like that.
Is that allowed? Don't the teachers get sore?
Maybe the teenagers.
I'm not sure. I guess they might complain if things got too out of hand.
Honestly, I was lucky to go to a high school that was rather lax with uniform. I know in America uniforms aren't really a thing, but here in my country they are, and I'll be honest, I hated them. Like, it didn't stop me. It didn't stop me from wearing them, but it always felt so suffocating to me. The first thing I would do every time I got home was get into casual clothes. Just like I could not stay in a uniform after school. It was too suffocating. But my high school was a little more lax. It's like the uniform was more casual than usual. Like it was a gold shirt and black jeans. But even then it felt a little bit suffocating, and I would get out of it as soon as I got home.
But I wear a cardigan over my uniform all the time, and I've never received a complaint. Let's see. I wonder what kind of look would work for you.
I have a compact mirror with me, so I peer into it with Miss President. And again, it's small, so there isn't much I can really see. When I try putting my cardigan again up to Miss President's chest, and change her hairstyle a bit with my headband, her eyes brighten up. That was kind of cute. Bisexual. After Miss President shyly fixes her messed up hair and returns my cardigan and headband, she warmly speaks up.
Never knew I could look like that.
See? Isn't it fun to give your uniform your own personal touch?
Yeah, this is like a thing that goes on through, I'm not sure if it's all of them. I don't remember if it's all of them, but at the very least, it's like the 4 first characters. They each like connect to Labrys in their own way, if I recall. And I do like that. They like form a bond. They like form a bond with her. Seeing Miss President so happy makes me happy too. It seems she really didn't have any interest in her looks until now. That's a bit of a
I never
waste.
gave much thought to fashion, though. I think Chie would be better at telling which colors compliment you best.
Chie? Who's she?
She's a great friend of mine. Chie is a natural at choosing colors and things that look great on people.
Red looks good on you, Yukiko. Chie was the one who said that to me. She's always looking after me. Sometimes sometimes I feel like she knows me even better than I know myself. When we go shopping together, we always pick out clothes. We always pick out clothes that she's positive will look good on me. So I bet she'd be able to find something for Miss President in a flash.
Friend of yours? I want to meet her too.
Sure. Once this is over, we can all go shopping together. I'm sure there are lots of outfits that would look good on you.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll hold you to it.
I feel a little closer to Miss President now. I don't have that many friends, but it still makes me happy when I make a new one. I'm sure Chie would be surprised too. She's always exaggerating, so I bet she says things like, "I can't believe Yukiko asked to hang out with someone besides me." I put on the cardigan that Miss President returned to me. Just as I'm about to suggest that we get going, a mysterious yet familiar voice echoes within my head.
Senpai! Can anyone hear me? That voice. Risa-chan? She's making contact through her persona, so it must be.
Okay, give me a sec. It's getting hot, so I need to take off my jacket. Whew, that feels better. It's different from the voice that was being broadcast over the PA system. This feeling is definitely Rise-chan's persona. Her persona is a bit different from ours. It has special abilities that allow her to detect faraway presences and send her voice to people over long distances. I tell Miss President what's happening, and she seems amazed that my friend has contacted me. My voice broke again. I then quickly turn my concentration back to the conversation with Rise-chan.
Yukiko-senpai! Thank goodness! Sorry, I was so relieved that I started tearing up. Are you alright, Yukiko-senpai?
I'm fine. What about you? Are you okay? You were doing these weird broadcasts until a moment ago, but you're back to normal now, right?
That wasn't me! A fake Teddy was saying those things in my voice. Ever since I got kidnapped, he was watching me. I didn't get any chances to use my persona. Yukiko-senpai, where are you right? Wait a sec. Are you with someone right now?
I see, Rise-chan doesn't know about Miss President. I quickly tell her about our encounter and what has happened.
Something's not right about her. I can't put my finger on it, but she's not normal.
Normal's overrated. Not normal? Well, I start thinking about what she could possibly mean by that. Rise-chan continues on.
based on how things went last year, you think that girl's the victim and the fake Teddy's her shadow?
I don't know yet, but it's possible. Rise-chan, you say you were with the fake one all this time. Are you okay?
Oh, sure, don't worry about me. The fake's gone off somewhere. That's why I was trying to contact someone.
Thank goodness. Rise-chan's safe then. It must have been so scary being held captive by the fake Teddy. She was using both Teddy's form and Rise-chan's voice. What reason and he was using both Teddy's form and Rise-chan's voice? What reason and would he have to do that? Oh, that reminds me. I should tell Rise-chan that her manager was worried about her.
Oh, this might not be worth mentioning now, but your manager called me in.
Huh? Inoue-san contacted you? Yikes. Sorry about that.
Oh no, don't be. I just thought you should know.
Oh man, how am I gonna explain this?
I'm trying to think of a joke here, but nothing's coming.
I seriously have no excuse. I'll just have to lie and say I ran away from home for a few days. I'm gonna get in such trouble for this. Ugh.
I guess it would cause more problems than telling the basic truth of I was kidnapped.
But one thing at a time. We have to deal with this situation first.
Don't worry, the others are here too. We'll rescue you in no time.
Yeah, I'm sensing them now. Cool. I'll be waiting, so hurry and come get me. Oh, but be careful.
Rise-chan answers energetically, but I know there's no way she's alright after being captured by the mastermind behind this case. I bet she's scared and worried. I have to hurry and rescue her. Rise-chan ends the communication after telling me she's going to try to contact everyone else. I told her where Yoshiki-kun and Chie and Teddy were, so hopefully she'll be able to contact them. But my objective is now clear. I have to go to the announcement room, rescue Rise-chan, and then do something about that fake Teddy. Now that the goal is in sight, I can more thoroughly focus on reaching it.
Well, that didn't look weird or nothing. Were you talking to your friend inside your head?
Oh, yes. Sorry. I bet it's hard to believe, but...
Nah, I could tell from watching you. You didn't look like you were faking it. You must really get along with him.
Huh?
I could see on your face that you didn't doubt him at all. And I'm sure they trust you right back, huh?
After thinking for a moment, I can't help but smile.
They sure do. We've been through a lot together, you see.
I feel like Miss President's acting a little off. I thought she might feel out of the loop after I had that whole conversation without her, but it seems like something else is on her mind. It's like she feels awkward. No, apologetic? It's as if it's as if she's bearing something she can't say to anyone else. Am I overthinking things?
We're behind you, too. I'm sure you'll get through this just fine.
I reassure her and try to cheer her up, but Miss President only nods ambiguously and doesn't smile back. I want to help her, but what should I do? I just noticed my mouse is in the way, sorry. We walk around the school for some more and finally find in the announcement room. The culprit of this case must be waiting behind the door. Hey Z, welcome to the stream. And yes, I am beating up people with fans and fire. And I am making I'm going to make it a personal, goal to slap everyone with the final hit. That realization makes me tense up. I motion toward Miss President. When she nods back, I fling the door open.
You came!
Huh? Only Risei-chan is in here. I thought the fake Teddy would be like, "Waha! You finally made it this far. Now tell me if you. Now let me tell you my master plan," or something like that. Someone's been watching too many TV shows. Just as as I have that thought, he turns up on every monitor in the announcement room.
Welcome, Yuki-chan. Looking for me? You must know already, but this is the stage for the final battle.
It would take me 3 battles to get here. Oh yeah, you had an impromptu one with Elizabeth.
You brought your own strange audience with you, but I'll overlook that for now.
I mean, it's Bappa Guy Etiquette 101. Yeah, I suppose that's true. I mean, even villains have a union. Look at Harley Quinn. Great show, great show, by the way.
You seem to love attention so much that I'm sure you'll do better with an audience.
The fake Teddy glances at the Miss President for a moment, but seems uninterested in saying nothing more about her. If he's this girl's shadow, I thought he would definitely start taunting her.
There's no point in pretending to be Teddy anymore. I'm not fooled. Who are you? Why are you doing this? How much longer will this awful game continue?
Oh my! How rude of you to call it awful when you're the ones who wished for it!
We wished for this? What do you mean?
As I've said from the start, real men let their fists do the talking! Bring out the next challenger!
Well, just like before, smoke pours out. I still can't tell whose silhouette it is as I see through the white smoke, but I have a pretty good idea. The fake Teddy said a moment ago that this is the final battle. Since I fought Yosuke-kun and Chie and Teddy, there's only one person left.
I had a feeling it would be you.
That makes things easier then. Let's get started, Yukiko.
That's right, it's Yuka.
If it's at all possible, I don't want to fight. Can we not do this?
What a question. You've been fighting against your friends this whole time, haven't you?
That's true, but...
I don't want to fight, huh? You always just wait for things to happen. You can't do anything until someone makes the choice for you. You haven't changed at all. Just like last year. You're still waiting for someone to come and rescue you.
I haven't changed at all?
That simple statement is like a knife through my chest. The things my shadow said to me when I first entered this world began echoing through my mind. As if to reopen the wound, and Yukon's cutting remarks remind me of the pain the pain I thought I left behind. The me who wanted to go somewhere, but was too weak-willed to do anything on her own, and thus yearned for a prince to take me away. The me that didn't have enough courage to even consider breaking the cage surrounding me, only becoming more and more fretful. I thought I had faced down those fears. I thought I had changed. I did my best to improve my cooking. I did my best to improve my cooking, a skill that I was bad at as part of that process. That's why I made this boxed lunch. But after hearing Yukon say those things, feelings I've been slowly building up have been instantly cut down. My confidence has been shaken. Have I not actually changed at all?
That's not true. I'm trying to the best of my abilities.
Enough with the weasel words. I'm sick of your excuses.
He has no intention of listening to a thing I say. Yukon draws his sword, as if to tell me as such. because the fake Teddy's rules are still in effect. If I want to save anyone, then I must fight. I have to steel myself. If I don't fight and win, I won't be able to protect Miss President and the others.
Listen, both of you, something ain't right. Yukiko-san, are you really gonna fight him? I'm sorry. I know you want to stop this, but this is my only choice right now. Please, stand back, Miss President.
Upon hearing my words, Rise-chan leads Miss President and to a safe. Rise-chan leads Miss President to safe distance away from the upcoming fight. It'll be all right. I've been able to pull through so far. I just need to concentrate on the battle before me. Otherwise, I won't be able to win against Yukon. Hey, you! What's with the hand say to the face? I'm going to make sure you find out! I really just beat up Yukon. He finally came to visit us after all this time, and we ended up fighting? How did this happen? The same with Yoshiko-kun, Chie, and Teddy, too. That reminds me, everyone said the same things to me before I fought with them. Maybe I really haven't changed at all.
You're pretty strong, Yukiko.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you hurt anyway? I ended up fighting you anyway.
He just like has this big red he just like has this big red hand mark on it across his entire face and he's just like, no, I'm fine. And it's even pulsing with pain. I tried to excuse myself to Yukon, and who's gotten back on to his feet. He looks puzzled.
I knew something wasn't right. You've done a complete 180 from how you were a moment ago.
I was just thinking the same thing about you. If you doofs don't mind me butting in, something wasn't right with either of you. It was like neither of you could hear what you were saying. The way you answered each other didn't make no sense.
We didn't hear what the other was saying. Huh? It was like this after each. It was like this after each of my fights. Once they were over, it was clear that our conversations beforehand weren't matching up. I didn't have time to check, and to be honest, I was afraid what I'd find. But what if the things we heard from each other weren't actually what we said at all?
I see. Was that the fake Teddy at work too?
You think he's doing it on purpose to make friends fight each other?
That's crazy. Why? How could anyone do something so horrible as making someone fight their friends?
Miss President is disgusted by the situation. It almost seems as if she was the one who was forced to fight against all her friends. Definitely not foreshadowing for any story he will encounter in particular, no siree. She might be a very kind person. I feel as if she's getting angry for my sake. I tell her not to let the situation bother her and calm her down. And then I introduce her formally to Rise-chan and Yukon. I explained how we met, how I met her in this world, and how she can't remember anything, and how she may be a victim be the victim at the heart of this case. Upon hearing my theory, you can nod and falls deep in thought.
I see. That's strange, though. The Shadow's main objective is to take the place of the real person. If he really is her shadow, that fake Teddy hasn't seemed interested in her at all.
Yeah, you're right. He completely ignored Miss President a moment ago, too.
You still haven't figured it out? I made sure to spell it out for you from the start, too.
Duh. A voice suddenly echoed throughout the room. Like, the echoey shadow voices have always been cool to me, but that just then was kind of chilling. I feel as if I've heard it somewhere before. But it's a voice I really don't want to remember.
Who's there? Where are you?
You haven't found what you cherish, have you? What you truly desire.
I'm sorry, what? The voice's owner slowly reveals herself. That figure was the one thing I didn't want to see. I faced her once in the past, but now that I have to face her again, I'm scared.
Yukiko-senpai's shadow? This can't be.
That's right. The one that appeared before everyone was myself. My own face mocking me.
Everything's peaceful, no one will help me. I'm suffering now, yet no one notices. I'm beside myself because I can't tell if I'm making any real progress. Isn't that right, me?
I can't believe this. Why? I believe I've already defeated my shadow and obtained a persona. There's no way she could show herself again.
I noticed something. If I stir up more trouble, everyone will worry. I'm sure. No, I know for a fact that my real prince will come save me this time.
My shadow's smile widens and stares at me. Widens as she stares at me. I can't face that gaze. My eyes wander across the ground. Before long, something comes into my field of view. My box lunch. My shadow realizes what I was glancing at and intensifies the verbal assault.
I mean, take that boxed lunch. I said that I made it for everyone, but I'm not at all confident about it. I could have given it to them, but I didn't. I was so scared inside that I couldn't. Yet I can't throw it away either. That boxed lunch is just like me. I did my best, but I don't know whether or not it came out good. Just like poor, pitiful me.
That's not true! Come, Konohana Sakuya!
Huh?
I can't summon my persona? Nothing happens. It's as if I'd never had the power to begin with. No, why? How can this be?
No! This isn't happening!
I look so pitiful. Did you think that just because you gained your persona that your shadow would never appear again? Did you think you'd never meet me again after you accepted yourself? Sorry, but no one ever really lets go of their weaknesses. I'll always be with you.
Has my persona really turned back into a shadow? Was all the progress I thought I made only in my mind? Have I really not changed at all? The words Cat stabbed me earlier cut fresh wounds into my heart.
You tried to act all high and mighty by saying you were determined, but you were just trying not to rock the boat. It's too much trouble thinking on your own, so you closed your eyes to everything. Isn't that right, Miss Goody Two-Shoes?
Have you ever thought about the problem you cause for others? You may not realize, but you completely rely on us. That box lunch you brought today is a perfect example. Nobody ever said they wanted you to make them one.
You always just wait for things to happen. You can't do anything until someone makes the choice for you. You haven't changed at all. Just like last year, you're still waiting for someone to come and rescue you.
The me that gave up thinking for myself. That gave up on thinking for myself. The me that selfishly ignores the feelings of others. The me that can't do anything on my own. The me that pretended to have grown, but in reality hasn't changed at all. My weakness caused this case and dragged everyone into it. My shadow continued as the verbal barrage as I stand trembling.
I've always been by your side. You were just tuning me out for a while. Isn't that true? Poor, pitiful me.
Please stop. I catch myself covering my face with my hands. I don't want to see or hear anymore. I'm scared. Yukon and the others are getting a full view of my pitiful self. I'm scared. I'm so scared. I can't even stand.
Stop!
Have I not changed at all since back then? Did I actually know that deep down? Did I actually know that deep down, but was just trying to ignore it? Please, no more. I just want to let go. I want to let go of everything.
Yukiko-san!
Yukiko! Don't let it fool you!
He's right, Yukiko-senpai. Look up at us!
What am I doing? Why was I so frightened? Yukon, Risei-chan, Miss President, I can hear all their reassuring voices too. I'm not alone. No matter how pitiful I am or how painful things are, I have great friends who aren't embarrassed of me. They accept me for who I am and will fight alongside me. Reassuring voices pull me out of the darkness. I slowly open my eyes. Before me, I see Yukon from behind. He has stepped between me and my shadow to try and protect me. Risei-chan is holding my body
Don't
up.
give in. You overcame your weakness back then, didn't you? We all know you did. We were there.
Yeah, you're not running away from anything. Not last time and not this time either. You came to rescue me just like you said. This is the second time you've done that. You're not weak at all.
You're both right. I can face myself. I can do this.
Please, let me do this.
Yukon and I exchange glances. When he sees me, he nods with determination. His expression softens, and he stands aside. He believes in me. His trust in us makes me happy right now. Thank you,
Look after
Yukon.
Miss President and Risei-chan.
Of course.
I get back to my feet and stand firmly. I fix my gaze upon the smirking shadow in front of me. If it was my weakness that caused this case, then I'll bring an end to this case
I'll
myself.
never let go of their weaknesses. You're probably right about that. That's why I must continue fighting against mine. And I can do it because I know I'm not alone.
Yes, now I can take a step forward to that goal. A step towards that goal.
Yukiko-san, can you really beat her?
This president's voice. Yeah, I'm surprised too. If not for everyone, then I'd never have realized I possess such inner strength. I take a deep breath. I won't look away again.
You say you're my weakness? Then no matter how many times you come back, I will continue to stand up against you. Now, come.
This time I feel the strength flowing through me, and my persona, Konohana Sakuya, appears. The shadow contorts her face in pure hatred from seeing me stand up against her.
Why? Why aren't you despairing? I was so close too.
Okay, before we resume, I need to take a bio break. Give me a sec. I return. Let us resume. We are going to turn these slaps into a meme.
Final. Fight.
Oh, that's interesting. I think they're actually using the shadow version of Yukiko here. Oh yeah, they're definitely using it. That is not going to get old for a while. That's the new goal with Yukiko's route. We are going to defeat every single opponent with slaps. With my final strike, the shadow stops moving. I won. I've defeated her again. Yeah, they made shadow as playable. Yeah, though in the original game, the shadows were just like clones with the shadow myth. So I guess in the DLC for this game, they actually changed it to use the shadow versions of the characters, which is a pretty cool detail.
You did it, Yukiko.
Thanks.
I truly feel horrible now that my weakness was what caused this case. I'm sure that everyone will still accept me, though. And this time, I know for sure that I'm not just pretending that I overcame my weaknesses. I'll be alright now. Even if I go astray again, I'll be able to stand against it.
Huh? Senpai, be careful! Something's not right with the shadow!
We all turn towards Rise-chan, and simultaneously all the lights in the announcement room turn off. What happened?
They repeatedly suffered the pain of fighting their friends, but they still didn't lose heart.
The voice echoes in the darkness. An ominous voice that makes me feel like insects are crawling all over my skin. But still, this voice is somehow familiar.
No one can understand you after all. What a shame.
The lights come back on, and then the one standing before me was the fake Teddy? But why? Just a moment ago, I was positive that my shadow was there.
What are you talking about?
The fake Teddy looks straight at Miss President and is addressing her. The air about him and his voice are completely different now.
Who are you? I thought you were my shadow.
No, that's not true, Senpai. I couldn't tell until now, but the one this thing's based on is Miss President.
What are you talking about, Rise-chan? That's impossible. I mean, just a moment ago I
thought something was odd. Yukiko used her persona in the fight. Personas and shadows are one and the same. It's impossible for both to exist at once.
Yukon is right. How could I have forgotten that? The power of my persona can only be obtained by accepting one... the power of personas can only be obtained by accepting one's shadow. The reason I'm able to use my persona is because I already faced my shadow, but I was fighting that thing with my persona. It couldn't possibly be my shadow.
Plus, we've never seen a shadow take on someone else's appearance. Maybe that's why your conversations with each other got all jumbled up.
Either way, this isn't like last year.
Hey, would you stop treating me like I'm some kind of freak? This wasn't my power originally. It's hers.
Her power? What's that supposed to mean? Miss President and cradles her head and denies the Shadow's words.
No! I'm not like that! Why so desperate all of a sudden?
It's about time you remembered. Stop deluding yourself.
He's going to morb! That penny was a faux-faux! Yep. That's still so cool.
I am a shadow. The true self. That's my face.
No. The fake Teddy turned into a form that looks exactly like Miss President. So, it's Miss President's shadow? A shadow that can change forms is completely unheard of. I still can't believe it, despite all the evidence pointing it out. Teddy was a furious foe for a foe! No, I am not going to say that 5 times fast.
I think that's its real appearance. Look at it next to Miss President over there.
I try to compare them, as Rise-chan says. Miss President is trembling uncomfortably. That 5 times fast. And trying... Miss President is trembling uncontrollably and trying to hide, but from what I can tell, the Shadow's face is pretty much identical. Although the Shadow's body is covered in all kinds of metallic parts, and she looks like some kind of robot. The real Miss President is acting like I was. She's shut her eyes tight. She shut her eyes tight and is shaking her head.
I'm not deceiving myself. I don't know you. Huh. You're still trying to look away? The power to scramble other people's senses? Those people there must be aware of it. Ask yourself, why do I have such powers?
That fake Teddy was a furious for a foe that faked his face. No, stop!
Because you, the real one, have them too.
The power to scramble other people's senses. I get it now. That's why everyone wasn't making any sense when we fought.
I see. If I had lost my mind during those matches, I should have realized it. But I never did. So we didn't really lose our minds. We just seemed that way to the other person. Which means no matter what the other person really said or did, we'd perceive it as being something completely different.
So that was the reason why everyone's attitudes and conversations didn't match up after the fight was over. We were both hearing things that neither of us said. But why does the Shadow keep saying the power is Miss President's? What could that possibly mean?
Is that Miss President's persona ability? Or is it something else?
That's a pretty good guess. But it's wrong. I was born with this ability. More like a weapon, designed for infiltration.
Infiltration? Weapon? That doesn't make any sense at all. What are you talking about?
No! No! I don't want to remember! You don't? Hey, fine with me. Then you can die as you are.
The Shadow brandishes the giant axe in her hand and comes charging at Miss President. Miss President is still trembling and doesn't seem like she can move. No. My body suddenly acts faster than I can think. I reflexively slide between the shadow and Miss President.
Look out!
Yukiko!
The moment I embrace Miss President to shield her from the shadow's axe, I hear a ping of metal, the ping of metal striking metal.
Senpai, hang in there!
You can stop the axe with a sword to protect me, Miss President, but the power of the shadow's attack knocks him away. I mean, you see the size of that axe? It is a pretty big axe. I'm scared, but I can't back down now. I mean, seriously, it would have been impressive if he managed to stop that thing with his sword. I mean, it's impressive that the sword didn't break. Yukon gave his all to protect us, so now it's my turn. It's my turn. The shadow glares at me in disgust as it sees me refuse to move from Miss President.
Why are you protecting her? You've had your turn already. Get out of my way. The only one I have business with is me over there.
The shadow brandishes the giant axe at us once again when with pure rage. The shadow is strong, but I can't run away. The moment I was about to summon my persona, the presence behind me moved.
Eliminating shadow.
Oh boy.
No way.
Huh? I have absolutely no idea what happened. I hear sounds of machinery whirring. It's not from the shadow. It's coming from Miss President.
Target confirmed to be a shadow. 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon Labris, initiating elimination process.
Uh-oh. What in the world is Miss President? When Fire Emblem swords are stronger than axes, you shouldn't have won. The Oto, Mitsuri, and Aigasa story is now available. This is Persona, though, not Fire Emblem. And by the way, yes, we are going with P3 Best Girl.
Are you awake?
I'm sorry. I had turned off my consciousness to test the new equipment installed on me.
Yes, that's why we use the emergency channel. We've been asked to go into action.
Has something happened? Who sent the request?
Yep.
We'll brief you on the details in transit. Also, regulations say that the member with the lowest serial number is in command. Currently, that's you.
I'm in command? Are you sure about this? After all,
You're well suited for it, in my opinion.
Understood.
May 1st, 2012, of 9:30. Men equipped with assault suits and tactical vests line the concrete ground. Their urban camouflage and unmoving poses give them the appearance of an orderly line of rocks. 30 minutes have passed since the special assault team took up their position on the landing strip, surrounding the stopped passenger plane. Their captain glares at the plane before he slowly turns around and looks at each of his men. And yeah, in order to get closer to the true endings, we have to go for a Persona 3 character next. Everyone wears ski masks. I thought it was Adachi as the voice. It did sound similar to Adachi. Every last one wears a ski mask and thick tactical visors to mask their identities. But he knows them nonetheless.
Tell me about the situation and make it quick. We don't have much time.
One of the team members steps forward. The touchscreen tablet in his right hand and has a summary of the case on it. On May 1st, 2012, around 900 hours, as the wide-body passenger aircraft headed for Kagoshima sent out a 7,500 squawk code during passenger boarding. Following the signal, the captain reported to the control tower that their aircraft had been hijacked. Since the uprising occurred during the passenger boarding, only half the passengers, 168 exactly, had boarded. The 10 crew members brings a total of 178 hostages is thought to be on board. Some passenger seated near the hatch had succeeded in escaping. The following points were gained from questioning them. Take care not to be seen by the hijackers. There are 3 hijackers, all of them covering their faces with ski masks. All of them are armed and with what seem to be pistols. From their voices and builds, they appear to be males. They all spoke fluent Japanese. Currently, the aircraft in question moved to the front to the landing strip at the hijackers' insistence and stopped there. The authorities have attempted to negotiate with the hijackers by radio, but they have made no demands. The team member finishes his report. The captain nods silently and addresses his team.
There hasn't been a plane hijacked in this country in over 10 years. None of us, not even me, have dealt with this before. Still, the procedure remains the same. Trust yourself, remember your training, and keep a cool head.
The captain turns towards the plane again. Taking that as a cue, the team scatters to their specified posts to take up positions. The only thing I can do now is see what happens. Eventually, 10 o'clock comes around. Half an hour has passed with no new developments. Repeated attempts to contact the hijackers have been made, but they have yet to make any demands. Tensions are beginning to rise. The worst case scenario is that they have no need to make demands, that their objective is to seize the passenger plane itself. In this case, the team would be facing a large-scale terrorist attack.
Talk to us.
The captain mutters to himself, deep in thought. From the perspective of rescuing the hostages, any second that passes without learning the hijackers' objective is a second wasted. The captain and his team can wait in hiding, but the same is not true for the passengers on board. For untrained civilians, extreme stress can easily lead to physical and mental problems. It's true not only for the hostages, but for the hijackers as well. When people lose their nerve, they tend to act rashly. The hostages will begin to lose hope, and the hijackers will begin taking it out on the hostages. An hour into the incident, anything could be happening inside the plane. The captain could do nothing but glare as the time ticked by. After 15 more minutes had passed, a slight change in the situation was reported. All emails and calls going through the stations near the airport are being checked, but at the moment, no messages are thought to have been sent from the inside of the plane. It is so good to hear the Persona 3 music again. It appears that the hijackers had confiscated all cellular phones, and as per standard hijacking plans, but...
Sir, there's a report from HQ. They picked up a transmission from one of the passenger cell phones. It's a smartphone with GPS, so they can tell it's inside the plane.
Confirm those details for me.
There are 2 possibilities. The hijackers are using a passenger's phone to contact associates outside, or a passenger is contacting someone in secret. The latter possibility is more likely. More and more devices have communication capabilities now, making it extremely difficult for hijackers to remove them entirely from play. And the more hostages there are involved, the more courageous they become, and the more likely they are to take risks. Unfortunately, more hostages involved means it's all the more dangerous to provoke the hijackers. Each individual hostage is worthless to them. The details of the transmission makes it apparent that the situation is worse than the team had assumed. The cell phone's owner is a man in his 60s in first class. He signed up for a certain service after being diagnosed with a heart illness. It's a remote EKG monitoring service that keeps track of the patient's heartbeat. A scheduled message was automatically sent to the patient's cell phone. The service provider promptly contacted the police, informing them that the man was in bad shape.
His life is at stake if we don't wrap this up within the hour. Looks like we can't stall for time.
Time to be an absolute badass. As panic spreads, a proposal for negotiations based on the SPAC and proposal to storm the plane are both considered. But because only half the passengers have boarded, the situation inside the plane is uncertain, making and devising a tactical plan difficult. Though if nothing is done, a passenger will surely succumb within the hour. A blunder like that must be avoided at all costs. That was the thinking that guided the police officials to make their decision. That same day, at 10:30...
What? Withdraw? This is a hijacking! What are you thinking, withdrawing our people? Yes, I understand.
Wait, what's going on?
Orders are orders. We'll fall back at once. Get ready.
No one understood the sudden withdrawal order. Why withdraw the team during a hijacking? No one on the scene agreed with the decision, but the order could not be overturned. The men here are not the brain, but limbs whose power is best put to use by precisely following orders. Just then, another group approaches without a sound. Its members are dressed differently, in suits and trench coats, but all of them are wearing black and sunglasses. At a glance, it's clear that they are tall, well-built, and used to rough situations. With nearly 20 of them gathered in one place, they are imposing despite their silence. They don't seem to be airport personnel, but neither are they known to the police. But the captain senses they're in the same line of work and approaches.
Who are you?
His voice is laced with suspicion, but the man at the head of the group speaks dispassionately, as if he heard nothing.
For the next half hour, we're in command of this scene.
The man's actually called MIB.
You didn't answer the question. Who's responsible for this?
That is none of your concern. Now, if you will please look into the pretty light. The captain's tone unconsciously hardens. The group of men in black carts and one of their number are in the rear steps forth. The captain can't stop himself from furrowing his brow. He can already sense the unrest spreading amongst his team, who watch in silence. The one stepping forward looks like a 17 or 18-year-old girl. She is dressed in black and wears sunglasses like those around her, but her slender build is out of place. Her blonde hair stands out even more in contrast to her all-black outfit. The girl walks a few steps forward and removes her sunglasses. The captain intended to appraise the look in her eyes, but only gasps in the face of her crystalline blue. He quickly regains himself and
You're
frowns.
the one in charge?
Yes,
Are you shitting me?
there is no time to waste quarreling.
The girl looks at him fearlessly, despite the armed team surrounding her. The absurdity of it all helps the captain get over his surprise. Her age and appearance are most likely meaningless. She is clearly no ordinary
Are
girl.
you not even gonna tell me who you're with?
I'm with me.
I cannot.
So you expect me to hand over control of the scene to you without even telling me who the hell you are?
I believe orders to withdraw have already been issued.
The calm, sweet voice only irritates him. The captain closes the distance to the girl, and while he stops short of grabbing her suit, he glares into those blue eyes from only inches away.
I don't know what kind of juice you have with the brass, but are you ready to be responsible for the deaths of those passengers?
The passengers are not the one who need help anymore.
Your protests are doing nothing to relieve the danger. Rescuing them as soon as possible is my, or rather, our duty.
The girl is completely unruffled as she speaks. It's like she's a machine or something. Certainly not. The captain thinks, more dumbfounded than angry.
Within us, we too wish to save them.
And by us I mean me. For the first time, something like determination flickers within those crystalline eyes. After looking into them, the captain finds something akin to resolve and confidence in them. He steps back. Raising his right hand to his chest, he shows the girl his watch. Dude, you are dealing with shit way beyond your pay grade. My advice, stand the hell down. Yep.
Right. But you got exactly 30 minutes and not a second more.
I don't even need 5.
Understood.
After the girl nods, she gives the instruction and to prepare stair car to the group she is leading. The captain's fist tightens nervously. Since there are a few uses for a stair car, quietly moving it in place may make the hijackers think that a strike team is getting ready to storm the plane. Oh, but a strike team is. A strike team of 1. But there is no hesitation in the girl's actions.
Well then, move in as naturally as possible while staying in their blind spots.
5 minutes to deal with the hijackers. That means 25 minutes of playtime. Yep. Eventually, a roofless car advances slowly towards the passenger plane.
Closest we can get without them noticing will be about 10 meters from the plane.
Only 10 meters? Give me a challenge.
That will be more than enough.
More than enough? What's the point of half-assing it like that? The captain's annoyance begins to turn into curiosity. Is she replacing the SAT? Ah, yes, I got you for 30 minutes. Then she must... if she is replacing the SAT, she must have a plan beyond simple brute force, but...
Now, let's begin.
The stair car stops. The girl gets out of the driver's seat. She walks slightly behind the vehicle, turns towards the passenger plane, and squats down.
What's she doing?
The captain brings up a pair of binoculars to see what she will do. At first, he assumed she is just going to use the stair car's movement as a decoy to send her team in from a different direction. Like humans, most vehicles have significant blind spots above and beneath. Yet that doesn't seem to be her plan. Does she plan to make her move while using the stair car as cover? Is she possibly going to snipe them? The captain discards the possibility. It would be foolish to set up a sniper at a low angle of elevation where the girl is now. While the captain mulls over the question, the girl makes an unexpected move. She appears to lower her stance slightly in one moment, and in the next, she is no longer in sight. By the time the captain realizes she is running, she has already reached the top of the stair car. Her slender body launches like a cannonball from the top of the stairs. Yeah!
She jumped?
P3 best girl! Even the SAP members voice their surprise. The girl's leap barks a distance over 10 meters. It's clearly beyond the abilities of a human being. I believe I can fly. I want that outfit. I know, right? She looks awesome in it. Coming in the middle of a hijacking, the scene seems even more surreal. The girl lands on top of the aircraft and stands as if nothing unusual had happened. She looks at the aircraft beneath her and slowly turns her head to scan it from back to front. It reminds the captain of the movements of a security camera. He knows it should be impossible, but wonders if she can see through the plane's ceiling. Eventually, the girl seems convinced of something and begins walking. When she reaches the boarding hatch at the front, she moves her right hand to her back. The captain notices that a special knife, coated in gray from blade to hilt, is in her hand.
What's she gonna do with that knife?
The girl suddenly lowers her stance and slides down down the side of the aircraft. Just as she's about to fall, she thrusts the knife into the jamb of the hatch and dangles from it.
This is crazy.
She uses her left hand to pull the handle and unlocks the hatch with ease. Once the thick, airtight door juts out of the aircraft, the girl nimbly jumps into the plane. The captain is shocked by her dauntless methods. Yes, just another Tuesday for the shadow operatives. Yep, this is par for the course. Actually, this is pretty mundane compared to what they usually deal with. The captain is shocked by her dauntless methods. He begins to wonder if she intends to defuse the situation on her own. The captain lowers the binoculars and faces the reality before him with his own eyes. Who in the world is she? The doubt that he had dismissed rises within him again. and I did look it up. That day did fall on a Tuesday. That is actually hilarious. I gotta wonder if that's calculated. A warning light goes off in the cramped cockpit. Two people there notice it at once. One of them is the captain, sitting in the pilot seat. The other is the man holding a gun to the back of the captain's head. All the fuses pulls out her arm gun, American style. The light is labeled hatch open. Even an amateur could understand what it means. The man suddenly tenses and stands ready at the passenger side door. He prepares himself for someone to charge through it. But he quickly regains composure and turns the gun back on the captain. The man casts an irritated glance back and forth between the captain and the door for a while, but eventually approaches the door, his gun pointed at the captain. He cautiously cracks open the door and looks towards the passenger seating. Just outside the cockpit is the first class section. But the passengers were gathered in the economy class at the time of the hijacking. First class is empty. The man squints. To ward off observation or worse, snipers are or worse, snipers, the window covers were down. Coming into the darkened plane and from the bright cockpit forces his eyes to adjust. But from the corner of his eyes, he sees a gleam of light shining that's unlike the regular ones. And within that light is a silhouette. Before he can react, the silhouette figure closes the distance. A hand grabs the edge of the door and opens it with tremendous force. Ow! 2 quick, heavy blows follow. The man collapses without a sound. The captain turns around and is surprised to see the intruder, a blonde girl with an index finger to her lips, signaling silence. She first lays the man on the ground and then removes the pistol from his hand. On closer inspection, it is only a model gun, supplemented with metal parts. The seam in between the parts is in different places compared to a real gun. If taken apart, the disassembled pieces would look nothing like a real pistol. The girl then takes the handcuffs from a small pouch on her waist and fastens the man's arm to the seat leg near the window. Even if he wakes up, he will be unable to stand. Kinky. Though the captain still looks as if he wishes to say something, the girl's eyes met his and insist on silence as she leaves. The curtain dividing first class and economy class is closed. The girl hides herself behind it and peeks through. There is a man in each of the aisles, one on the left and the right. Neither seems to have noticed her. Dun, 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 dun. Remember, the safe word is pineapple. But do realize when you say those words, a large spiked fruit will be shoved up your anus. The passengers and cabin crew are crammed into seats in the back. Everyone's placement matches the readings of what their heat sensors has picked up from above the plane. Both remaining hijackers are closer to first class. The man closest to her is only a few steps away. He judges that he can easily be disabled if she moves quickly. They both carry pistols, but they are the same type of as the downed hijacker. From what she can see, these two are mere model guns. And that just runs already you from me, you know. Yeah, I'm not going to try to pronounce that either. I would have to sound it out. The girl swiftly pushes aside the curtain and grabs the closer man's right wrist. A hijacker, caught off guard by the sudden appearance of the slender girl, stops moving for a moment. He surrenders any chance of victory he may have had. With a pained cry, he drops the pistol to the ground. The girl uses her grip up on his right hand to put him on the ground, then smoothly pulls out another pair of handcuffs and locks his arms to the passenger seat. The man thrashes about, but despite his struggle, he is no better than a worm writhing on the ground. A worm that I shall proceed to step on. We are completely changing the context of this operation. The last hijacker finally recovers from his shock and aims his gun. The girl, better than the longest, better than longest word has 189,819 letters. Takes 3 hours to pronounce. for time. Holy crap. The girl pulls a button from the other man's sleeve and flicks it towards her opponent's face. The button travels at immense speed. Though it was launched only from her fingers. The man tried to shield his face, but he is too late. He grunts in pain when the projectile strikes his forehead. The girl does not let the opportunity pass. She easily jumps over the 3-seat wide center block of seats with one arm and grabs the man's right hand. There, she repeats the same procedure she used before. Their weapons are immediately seized while they are restrained on the floor. The passengers are only now grasping what's happened before their eyes. A murmuring chorus rises.
Do not be alarmed. I have come to rescue you.
What the pineapple? Why would you get his ass handed to him?
Your safety has not been secured yet, so please stay calm and remain in your seats.
That's Lieutenant. She didn't throw a button, she threw a pineapple. The passengers erupt in cheer. I guess it's so badass she resolved the entire situation without firing a single shot. Without a single shot being fired. Pineapple whips for everyone! The passengers erupt in a cheer. There's a sporadic applause as well. But there is a slightly hysterical tinge to it. In reaction to the tension of the situation.
Excuse me. We were told someone requires medical assistance for their chronic heart illness. His name is...
Just as the girl approaches the center of the plane, she senses a male passenger stand up from his seat. He is extremely calm and quiet as he does so. The girl belatedly picks up the incongruity. All of the other passengers are nervous. It is then that she feels something hard pressing up against the back of her head. Dude, don't even try. It's not going to do anything. She knows without looking that it is the muzzle of a gun. The nearby passengers' cries of relief suddenly turn into screams.
I am impressed with your judgment to stay hidden until an opportunity arose.
The girl is unperturbed and she continues to look straight ahead. The man stays silent and keeps the pistol pressed to her head. I now need Agus with a pineapple top style haircut. She knows there is no danger to being shot. She is not yet sure that but she is not yet sure that he was the only one in hiding. Left with no choice, the girl accedes to his demands and moves forward. After about 10 steps, another man stands up as expected.
And you too.
She is totally chill. Like, this is such a non-threat to her. The man doesn't answer. He slowly approaches from the front. The girl is now sandwiched between the front and the back. You're not trapped. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me. At that moment, footsteps sound from beyond the curtain leading into first class. The two culprits both react at once, but it is too late. 10 men in black rush in at once from beyond the curtain. While the girl had drawn the hijacker's attention with the scuffle, the stair corner had closed in. Did you want to know the shade word, or shall we begin? At first, they pinned down the man standing in the front. The narrow passage gives the man behind her a short reprieve, but it doesn't last long. The moment and he lowers the hand and gripping the pistol in order to escape, the girl grabs his wrist. So focused was he on the man who burst onto the scene that he forgot the threat the girl posed. He is immediately tripped and restrained as he falls on his back. The girl stands up and looks around. Anyone else? If there were any more hijackers inside the plane, this would be their last chance to make a stand. But no one rises from their seat. She glances towards the man in black, and they nod back in acknowledgement. It seems the crisis has been averted. The girl carefully keeps her thoughts from appearing on her face, and gives an inner sigh of relief. Soon afterwards, the sweeper team gives a report confirming that the aircraft is secure. The girl works with the cabin crew to arrange transport for the man with the heart illness before she steps out for a moment. She stands on the stair car and turns on the blue designator light, waving it in circles towards the SAT's position. It is a signal that the crisis is over.
Already?
Told you I didn't even need 5 minutes. On receiving the signal, the SAT on standby start talking amongst themselves.
It hasn't even been 5 minutes. There should have been at least 3 hijackers.
I actually called the minute. I actually called the number of minutes. I didn't even remember that detail.
You know what they remind me of is those guys. Like Men in Black or something.
Yes, good. Now please look into the pretty light.
Captain, who are those people? Is that one even human?
Yes. I mean, again, technically, Igus is closest has become closest to human than any other robot character in history. The captain sighs with reluctance.
This is just a rumor, but I've heard that the higher-ups formed an unofficial security group in conjunction with a certain corporation.
I laugh how this looks so badass, and then you see what's obviously jumping there with the slouch and the backwards cap.
It's supposedly for cases that are a little strange. I hear they have some official standing with the police too. Though it's all some private enterprise, so technically there's no authority involved at all.
What? But this is Japan we're talking about.
A search and destroy unit that answers to no department and keeps no records. I've heard them called shadow operatives.
He turns on his own blue light as a signal of understanding and waves it left and right. The response light comes from up ahead. The girl then sees the captain spreading his arms in a shrug and smiles for the first time. She feels slightly bad for them. Her teammate may have shamed them, though they had done nothing wrong. I should apologize to them later. But then, out of the corner of the girl's eyes, near the entrance of the luggage carts, at the corner of the building, a figure catches her attention.
A girl?
Hello. And I have noticed that is the same dress that Igus wears when you first meet her in Persona 3, which I think is a really cool detail. Well, at least on the boys' end, oh no, she still wore that dress as on the girl the girl's storyline too. Super Elite. Want to play some baseball? You already said typos. The girl seems to be about her her age and is wearing a plain cape-like dress. For some reason, her appearance feels unsettling. To begin with, given the heightened security, the parking entrance should be strictly sealed, yet the figure looks like a civilian.
May I check on something?
The girl calls to the SAT captain over the radio. Noticing some slight interference, she looks down to adjust the frequency dial.
What is it?
If you look towards my left, in front of the luggage loading bay is...
But during the moment she looked away, the figure disappeared.
She's not there. That can't be.
The girl looks around, but the figure is nowhere to be seen. Where could she have gone in this open space, with nowhere to
What's
hide?
the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was apparently seeing things.
Getting ready for dinner, so no. Well, I'll let anyone I'll see anyone later on stream tonight. And I don't know if I'll be able to make it because it's quite late for me. It's going to be quite late for me when I'm done. But maybe I'll be able to drop by. The girl shuts the radio off. Who was that just now? Was I truly seeing things? With those questions in mind, the girl tries to remember the figure's appearance in detail. Only then does she realize the cause of her unease. That light blue dress the figure wore. It was very similar to the one she herself had once. It's cool, I might still be streaming when you normally sign on for the day. Cool, so maybe I'll catch you then. It reminds her of those days when she did not yet have a heart. The girl puts those thoughts aside and returns to the aircraft. The mission does not end, and see you later, Ayumu. The mission does not end with the culprits in custody. In truth, along with defusing the situation, securing the safety of one particular passenger was her highest priority. This fact was not revealed yet. This fact was not revealed to the SAT. The passenger was originally seated in first class, but would have been forced to move. The girl looks carefully through the restless passengers. It is not long before she finds the face she seeks. Looking relieved, the girl walks towards the passenger in question.
Are you all right, Mitsuru-san?
I guess. I didn't think you'd be the one to come.
Yep. The woman who answered has long, shining hair and would make an impression on anyone. Even sitting quietly in her seat, her refined appearance makes her stand out. But Igus knows the woman well.
In fact, I was surprised to be called on to deal with something like this. The suspects made no demands. What were they after? At first, I thought I was summoned because you were their target, Mitsuru-san.
The higher-ups must have thought the same thing and panicked. Especially considering there's cargo on that plane they wouldn't want made public. Wait a second, that cargo...
Is something wrong?
This hijack seems strange now that I think about it. They made their move before takeoff, which is odd timing, and they forced the boarding announcement to be stopped. I thought maybe it was their way of trying to pull it off with a small team.
Are you saying that rather than a passenger, they were after that cargo? It's true that no one would consider the unloaded luggage during a hijacking.
I guess I need you to check on my things, though if I'm right, it's already too late.
In response, Igus instructs her team via radio to secure all luggage transport routes. Moreover, she requests a search to ensure that no cargo has been taken.
Even if you're right, why would they be interested in your belongings?
My usual cargo wouldn't be worth hijacking a plane over, but I was carrying something sensitive this time. Normally, if they wanted it, they'd have to bypass a Kirijo facility's security or attack the vehicle transporting it.
I love how stone cold Mitsuru is about the situation. Like, this is like a situation, and like, if the only reason she didn't do anything herself was it could have made things bad.
But by doing it this way, they can divert the entire country's attention with a few model guns.
Mitsuru smiles. I just can tell that she is impressed with her audacity, despite herself.
Mitsuru-san's cargo. Sensitive belongings for a vacation. Ah, I understand. Hijacking a plane out of a desperate desire for undergarments. This incident will surely go down in history.
Conclusion! Mitsuru's eyes bulged at the unexpected comment.
What? You're jumping to conclusions. It's not sensitive in that way. Besides, my underwear is in this bag and... That's it. Enough about underwear.
The ultimate panty raid! She forces a cough and steers the conversation back on track. That would be hilarious if that was actually the case.
More accurately, my cargo contained items from Ergo Research. My trip to Kagoshima was partly vacation, but also to oversee their transferal to Yakushima.
The official name of Ergo Research is the Kirijo Ergonomics Research Lab. Both Mitsuru and Iga have many bitter memories associated with the name. A pole hangs in the air, but a radio transmission from one of Igas's team cuts the moment short.
Iga speaking. I see. Understood.
Mitsuru, no. I'm sorry, that joke's still sticking in my head. Mitsuru looks at Iga questioningly as she nods.
It's as you suspected. They found that one of the boxes scheduled for transport has gone missing.
I thought as much.
With a small sigh, Mitsuru rises from her seat.
We must get it back, I guess. The rest of the team can finish up here. I need you to come with me.
Iga inspects Mitsuru's face carefully.
Will you be joining the search as well?
Well, I am personally involved, so yes.
In other words, you will officially rejoin the unit and participate in this mission.
Oh, and by the way, Iga is canonically bisexual.
To be more direct, is it accurate to say that you are abandoning your vacation?
Mitsuru sighs with some exhaustion. Iga interprets her silence as approval.
Then I hereby transfer command authority to you, Mitsuru-san. Regulations state that the member with the lowest serial number is to take command. And since you are member number 1, the official leader of the Security Department Shadow Response Unit, also called the Shadow Operatives.
I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to enjoy this vacation for long.
Traveling with cargo from Ergo Research suggests that her vacation was neither relaxing nor cheerful.
But I can't allow anyone to be hurt again by the things we, the Kirijo group, created. We'll get this cargo back at all costs.
Oh yeah, we know all about what the Kirijo group was doing.
Mission or no mission, I'm making it a personal priority.
Understood.
I just answers loudly and snaps off the police salute that she finally gotten the hang of. I am Igas. My official name is 7th Generation Anti-Shadow Suppression Weapon. As my name implies, I am not human. I am a humanoid weapon, essentially a robot. Though with the right clothes, a surprising number of people cannot tell the difference. I was created in a research lab owned by one of the world's foremost conglomerates, the Kirijo Group. I was made to exterminate a certain enemy. They are called shadows, monsters born from people's repressed emotions, granted dark life. Shadows can only be defeated by those with the special powers of personas. One's persona is said to be the power to wield the shadow within. There are two sides of the same coin. The one cannot have a persona if they do not have a heart. I was given a mind to artificially develop a persona and a body to close to that of a human, so that my mind could maintain a personality. A heart designated for battle. A body designed for battle. I did endure some suffering because of my original purpose. But I now have a place where I belong. Somewhere I can make full beneficial use of my powers. That is the security department. That is the security department's Shadow Response Unit. Our nickname is the Shadow Operatives. The Shadow Operatives were formed at Mitsuru Kirijo's directive. She is the scion of my creators, the Kirijo group, as well as the one who has been given full responsibility for handling the shadows. And goddammit, Junpei! Our directive is to identify the resolve incidents involving shadows. We do this by eliminating them. All our members are persona users who have similar qualifications. During operations, our guidelines state that the member with the smallest number has command. The number that I was issued was 5. Though I am not human, I am treated as a member and not a piece of equipment. Anyone who does will have hell to pay. Moreover, my number is in the single digits. It's possible that there will be missions like today where I must take command of dangerous operations. In other words, I am recognized as having the same life and dignity as humans. Well, technically you do. Because Mitsuru-san and the others have such trust in me, I want to repay that trust with the results. There is another reason I am working my hardest on this case. Soon after the hijacking was resolved, the stolen cargo was identified. Its contents surprised me. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. The unit named Labris. She is one of my sister units. She was sealed over a decade ago and has been in storage with other artifacts ever since. Labris, a humanoid weapon just like me. It is possible that she has a heart. And if she does, I want to save her before she is misused. This is a mission, yes. But more than that, I feel it is a duty I must carry out. The next day, May 2nd, 2012. We wanted to pursue the vehicle carrying Labris as soon as the hijacking was over, but its complicated routes made it hard to track. Due to the sensitive nature of the cargo, it is difficult to set up large-scale traffic checkpoints. Fortunately, the license plate number was determined quickly, and we got a rough estimate of its destination. Our headquarters were moved to a police facility. Mitsuru-san and our team are sorting out the situation to plan for an operation.
And the interrogation of the suspects?
It's begun, but all of them are claiming that their memories at the time are very foggy, so they've been sent in for evaluation. The psychologists who interviewed them think it's possible they're not lying.
So none of the 5 have any memories of what happened during the hijacking.
Normally that would seem preposterous. There may have been some hypnotic effect, but even then...
We're dealing with someone after materials from Ergo Research. They'll likely be very well informed about shadows and the mind. Knowing that, it doesn't seem so strange. It would also explain the extreme lengths they went to create a decoy. What else do we know?
Another team member answers Mitsuru-san's question.
Since the cage storing the 5th generation is too large to transport by personal auto, we narrowed our search to large vehicles that left the airport. That, combined with the testimony from our observer and data from the transmitter, allowed us to pinpoint the vehicle in question. The police are already pursuing it via the N system. This is the most recent photo.
He hands the tablet to Mitsuru-san.
Inaba area. Wasn't this the place where...
Yes, our routine investigation last year rated the potential shadow activity in the area at level 4.
It seems that the culprit in this case has had prior knowledge of the shadows after all. If that is true, we must use extra caution. Many people do not know about shadows, though they are enough of a threat to possibly destroy the world. Then again, I experienced that for myself 3 years ago. If someone is trying to manipulate them, we must prevent it at all costs.
Let's talk about the stolen 5th generation unit. I guess, as the 7th generation, would be her younger sister.
A sister? My older sister.
I'd like to know why she was sealed.
5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris. The records show her to be the first model fitted with an artificial personality.
In other words, she has a heart?
There's no knowing if it was developed enough to call it that. She seems to have been made to gather test data rather than actual field use.
What are her combat capabilities?
She wasn't given firearms, since her regulatory system was inadequate, so she was instead loaded with some kind of special equipment. Unfortunately, the majority of the records pertaining to her are missing, which means that's the extent of our knowledge.
Apparently, Mitsuru's grandfather sucks at keeping records.
Special equipment.
We also don't know why she was sealed. Many of the documents regarding the old Ergo research were lost, probably to cover up incriminating evidence. We don't even know what she looks like. All we do know is that she was a life-sized android.
We'll just have to find out along the way.
Mitsuru-san swipes her fingers across the tablet a few times and shows it to an aide.
I'll need these 3 individuals' cooperations. I'd like to join them in the field.
Are you sure about this?
Try not to make a scene when fetching them. Not all of them are part of our organization.
The aide nods his assent and returns to its station. Mitsuru-san then turns her gaze on me.
Frankly, I think we can assume that there'll be combat involved. Will you be alright with that?
Mitsuru-san doesn't say it out loud, but I understand what she means. Our highest priority in this operation is to stop the culprit and mitigate any associated danger, not to rescue Labris. Of course, we will strive to accomplish both. But in the worst case scenario, we must consider the option of destroying Labris. Destroying a sister unit, it will be a painful experience if she too has a heart.
Thank you for your concern, but I'll be fine. I will do my duty.
Mitsuru-san says nothing more and silently nods.
Once we can confirm our target is headed to Inaba, we'll depart at once.
May 3rd, 2012. As we get ready to depart for Inaba, Mitsuru-san and I go over last-minute details inside the police station. Mitsuru-san is absorbed with issuing instructions over the cell phone she is holding. Pessimism seeps into my heart as I wait. I begin muttering to myself.
Will we be able to find Labris? My sister?
Mitsuru-san's surprised voice makes me realize how unlike me these doubts are.
Will we be able to save her? Isn't that what you really want to ask? Don't worry. As I mentioned to Akihiko, fighting Labris is not our priority. The reason I formed this shadow operative team is to save lives. We will find her, whatever it takes, and bring her back. We can do this.
Yes. I'm sorry to be so pessimistic.
Those feelings you have for Labris, you should tell her when you see her.
I will.
Friends bound by trust are irreplaceable indeed. I hope that Labris will become one as well. Eventually, the preparations are made and our limousine departs on its journey to Inaba. That evening, we are in Inaba now and traveling down a Midtown street. Though it is called Midtown, it is very different from an urban environment. It is a quiet rustic town. The vehicle we are targeting is easily discovered. The transmitter that was attached to it when it left the airport is, luckily for us, still active. I'm actually going to go for another bio break quickly. Give me a sec. I return. Look. But the vehicle now has been abandoned and the cargo is gone as well. To trace it further, we must learn why the culprit came here. Specifically, we need to know the details of what happened last year. Though this was already assumed, so we have a plan. Mitsuru-san ordered the driver to park nearby. However, this poses an unexpected problem. Our vehicle is a long black 8-door limousine. It'll stand out in this countryside town no matter where it's parked.
Mitsuru-san, our activities are supposed to be undercover, correct?
Yes.
For undercover missions, it will be necessary to keep all personnel and vehicles from being noticed.
Right.
Mitsuru-san, may I say something that I've been meaning to say for a while now?
No.
Understood.
She just knows it's out of place.
All I told them was to give us a car with enough space.
They went above and beyond the call of duty. Wherever we go, people peer into the windows out of curiosity. We avoid the public eye as much as possible and finally park in what looks like a site for vehicle disposal on the outskirts of town.
Our contact has arrived.
Then I notice a middle-aged man in a gray suit standing outside of the window. I recognize his face. He is one of the 3 collaborators Mitsuru-san contacted before our departure. I scoot over to the door and open the window.
Oh my. This was not our designated meeting area, yet he has discovered us.
Suddenly, something not unlike exasperation. Suddenly, something not unlike exasperation or disappointment appears on his face.
You want to know how I did it?
Hey, Kurosawa! The coughing interrupts us.
We appreciate your cooperation, Detective Kurosawa.
Mr. Son gets out of the vehicle and slightly bows. 3 years ago, when we were still fighting shadows in secret, Detective Kurosawa worked as a police officer on a nearby police box. He believed that our intentions were good and supplied us with certain conveniences under the table. His job made this risky, but he always acted on behalf of what he believed to be just. He said this many times while supporting us in secret. He is a strong man, one who always acts on his beliefs. But now our organization is an official government sanction. He can now cooperate with us without being considered a dissident. In fact, now that Kurosawa-san's prior actions are justified, he's being promoted for his expertise. I have heard that he is now a plainclothes detective working at the Central Precinct.
Long time no see, miss. And Aegis, was it?
Indeed. It has been a while.
I mean, you've interacted mostly with one guy 2 years ago, but then again, he did kind of interact with Thaiga during the answer chapter. Kurosawa-san fixes his eyes on Mitsuru-san and me. It is faintly awkward. We are both dressed for combat, and I'm not wearing any clothes to cover my true form.
Sorry for staring. A humanoid weapon. I was skeptical when I heard, but seeing you in person doesn't leave any room for doubt.
I'm sorry that I kept it hidden back then.
It's all right. It would have caused more of a headache if you'd gone around looking like that.
Hearing him say that, I cannot help but smile.
Seeing you laugh like that makes it harder to believe you're a machine.
I shouldn't make you stand while we talk. Please, get in.
Ah, sorry. I haven't seen you in a while, so I had a lot to say.
Mitsuru-san asked Kurosawa-san to collect information on the serial murder case that occurred in this town last year. We are about at time, but I'm going to go. No, I'm going to go until the next save point, and then we'll call it. When background investigations were carried out across Japan at the end of 2011. This region showed high readings of shadow activity. But although it was investigated, there were no effects apart from slightly unnatural weather. Then again, what if something happened that was just too hard to detect? Mitsuru-san suspects that the serial murder case was related to these shadows, and asked Kurosawa-san to have the local police force share their reports. We could have requested them directly, but what we wanted would not be the surface information found in the investigation records. There are limits to what an unofficial unit cloaked by authority can do with a direct request.
I found out quite a bit regarding the case you had me look into. First, I reviewed the report on the incidents from last year. One of the suspects mentioned the word persona.
I locked gazes with Mitsuru-san.
So what went on here last year?
It's probably related, but I wasn't done there. Parts of this guy's testimony were even more outlandish. If you can take what's in the record at face value, it seems persona users can enter TVs within the Inaba region.
Enter TVs? What does that mean?
It means it's a reality show.
Just what it sounds like. You physically stick your body into the screen and go inside. He claimed there was another world in the TV, and dropping people inside it was the method behind last year's murders.
This all sounds rather absurd. I'm surprised it was included in the police report.
We dealt with a tower that would appear in a high school at exactly midnight. It isn't that outlandish.
I got in touch with the detective in charge at the time and said the same thing. Apparently, the report was filed by a young partner of his at the time. He'd entertained the wildest testimonies like this one.
He sounds like quite the oddball.
If this was what really went on, the police would have had no chance cracking it. But that Detective Dojima is one shrewd guy. Even with all the supernatural hocus-pocus surrounding the case, he caught the culprit.
Kurosawa-san sighs. He seems to be tired.
That's all I have for you right now. I should be going. I doubt either of us has time to reminisce over the old days. It's funny, though. I thought the fighting was over, but you guys surprise me every time I see you.
Thank you very much, Officer Kurosawa. Why don't we at least see you off?
Oh, that's all right. I've got my own car. I doubt my department would appreciate your tastes. If I ever showed up for work in something like this, I'd be the talk of the force until the day I retired.
He opens the door and exits the vehicle. He gives a short farewell and leaves without turning back.
Mitsuru-san, this could be bad. Our sense of social aptitude is in question.
Can't deny that.
What should we do now?
Yes. First, we'll need to test the claim that Persona users can enter TVs.
Hearing this makes me realize something. Although I had called it a vehicle disposal site, looking around I can now see that there are also household electronics, like refrigerators discarded here as well. In a corner is a stack of TVs.
There is a discarded TV over there. If the environment does not matter, we can use it to test the phenomenon.
I voluntarily get out of the vehicle.
Wait, I guess.
I just noticed my mouse is in the way, sorry.
Don't worry. I'm just going to touch it.
Nothing could possibly go wrong, right? I extend my right hand and touch the screen of the biggest TV I can see. My fingers brush the glass screen. But although I seem to touch it, I feel no resistance from its surface. I push my hand forward a little more. A weak light runs across the screen and my forearm sinks into it.
Amazing!
Rings of light spread from the contact of my arm, rippling like water across a pond. Hey, Robin, and yeah, I'm doing the Persona Arena story on Sundays.
Interesting. It's exactly as the police report said. What's it like inside? Do you feel anything?
Not particularly. No. Wait a moment.
My sensor detects a sensation I've never felt before. But the knowledge of what it has already been, but my knowledge of what it is has already been recorded within me. Is it your first time playing the story mode? Actually, I played the story mode when I originally got it on PS3. Though, keep in mind that was a year after America got it because of the crapshoot its release was. Yeah, I have played it, and it's just been a long time, and I don't remember all that much of the story. But I'm going through it as efficiently as I possibly can, which is why we're on Aigis' story right now. That's a long time ago, almost basically the first playthrough. Yeah, pretty much. But I do remember a lot, and for this story, we are P3 Best Girl. I love Aigis.
It's the same as mine. It's hard to say definitively since this is my first encounter with it, but I believe this reading is from a personality module.
Does that mean our retrieval target is inside the TV?
Huh. Sounds like fun.
I hear a voice come from an unexpected direction. Mitsuru-san and I look towards it. What we see is a silhouette wearing a low hood that covers his eyes and a tattered cape. It billows in the wind, looking just like a character in a Western movie. He is standing atop a mountain of trash, his arms crossed.
Is that Akihiko?
He jumps down nimbly and walks towards us.
You didn't show up at the rendezvous point, so I went looking and found you here. This whole TV thing is pretty interesting.
The only thing I kind of have to complain about with this new design of Akihiko is apparently he's grown allergic to shirts. I would never forget the man laughing so fearlessly. Like Mitsuru-san, he is a friend and I once fought alongside, Akihiko Sanada. He was a student and boxing champion in his school days, and a staunch ally, powerful even without his persona. He is also our second collaborator on this case. Who's your favorite character in all this game's cast, by the way? That's kind of like a mix. Like I love Iga. It's like I loved her in Persona 3. I do love Yukiko, whose story we just finished. So no, though Marie is my favorite character in Persona 4, or after Gold, or I played Golden. And in this game, I totally made Labras.
It's been a while, Akihiko-san.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Akihiko, what on earth are you wearing? Just what were you doing overseas?
Labras is good, and I feel like they did her story well. Yeah, like her story is so... from what I remember of her story, like it had such an impact that it's so emotionally driven. I love it. And I do love that she's like one of the main characters as in the Ultimax story.
Huh? Didn't I tell you that I was on a training expedition?
Don't tell me you came here from the airport like that. Does the concept of keeping a low profile mean nothing to you?
Yeah, it's easy to get emotional when you go through her story. Yeah, really. Like it just makes you hate Mitsuru's grandfather even more.
Mitsuru-san, I believe we have lost the right to complain about that.
Mitsuru-san sighed in annoyance. Ah yes, Akihiko-san was on a training expedition overseas until this morning. As a result, his appearance is very different from the last time I saw him. But his aggressive personality and love of a challenge seem to be the same as always. He gives a cocky smile and smacks his palm with his fist.
Anyway, we can get inside from that TV, right? And what are we waiting for?
Still the same Akihiko. We don't know the situation inside yet, and we'll need a secure means of getting out.
So what? If we want to get this Labras back, someone has to go inside, right?
Well, that's...
Our target hijacked a plane to throw her into a TV in this town. If we sit on our hands, it's possible we'll be put in serious danger.
Akihiko-san steps towards Mitsuru-san as if pressing her.
We're different from how we used to be. We made the choice to fight shadows as professionals.
I'm gonna lurk, but I'll have you stream on and as it works, so I'll be here listening, and that's fine. We are going to end the stream soon anyway. I'll see if I can get a battle in.
That's why I traveled around the world and trained harder than ever. And now that something's actually come up, you're hesitating? We agreed to do this. I'm ready to stake my life on the mission.
Yeah, sorry, I can't like extend it too much, especially at this time because it does get it is getting pretty late, and and my room is right next to my mom's. I don't want to make too much noise. Akihiko-san's opinion is a bit strong, but he is not incorrect. It could be Akihiko-san understands that being slightly forceful is his role. Because Mitsuru-san takes caution seriously. As the ultimate authority in this case, she frequently second guesses herself. But I have seen Akihiko-san's words cut through her hesitation in the past. No problem. I look forward to seeing you I look forward to seeing you in more stream. I'm streaming now at it's around 7 p.m. my time. It might be a little late though because that tends to be around when we have supper, and it may be even a bit later if it's my turn to do the dishes that night. It shows his trust in Mitsuru-san is not. It shows his trust in Mitsuru-san not to make decisions in error.
All right. Wait right here. I need to go make a phone call first.
Okay, but make it quick.
And the P3 team gets their own FMV for this.
Wait here in the car.
Yep.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens, we'll be devastated.
Now that you mention it, at least one of us should be staying behind as well.
I am not staying.
Us three will be plenty. We'll end this in a flash. No problem.
The same as always. Although, we have no idea what might be waiting for us on the other side. Don't get careless.
Right.
This situation, it brings back memories.
Ready!
Memories of climbing an absurdly high tower. Again, super psyched for P3P coming to PC. Hey, Night Hunter, how's it going?
What's going on?
Okay. As much as I would like to get to, yes, can't wait. I played P3P when I was younger, but I lost the game, so I can't wait to not having to emulate it. Yeah, I love P3P. I played it like quite a few times. I do hope that they at least incorporate the answer chapter, because I feel that's like important because of Igus's story. Anyway, that's where we're going to end it. That's where we're going to end it today. Thank you all for coming. I'm sorry I couldn't get to a battle, but with the new stream time, I can't stream too late. Because of circumstances. You're welcome, Robin. And so thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please, if you like my stuff, please check me out on YouTube. I upload all my streams there. And soon I'll be able to VOD. Soon I'll be able to VOD on Twitch too. At least try that out. But I also have a Discord. Please check me out there. Or you can also check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Let me see who we can raid to leave off. Stariat. Looks like looks like you're the one being raided this time. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. This is Metis Balaska signing out.